Perfect. So good afternoon and a warm welcome to each one of you. So today's session is a demo class about a program called Advanced Program in Finance and Wealth Management. So this program is delivered by NSE Academy, WAWA, and Deakin Co, which is the executive education arm of Deakin University, Australia. All right, so this program is of 3 months, but before we discuss about the program, we would quickly do a sneak peek, okay? So the kind of the session it is basically we would transport you to an actual classroom and we will get into a conversation, and let's see whether this conversation is exciting enough for each one of you. All right. So before I start off, is English is all right for everybody, or do you want me to speak in Hindi as well? Very quickly in the chat box, is English the preferred communication language, or English and Hindi mix is all right? Anybody in the chat box? You can please express your views. English is preferred. All right. Great. Super. So let's skip to English then. Okay. Now, before I start off, okay, let's look at this picture on the screen. So this was quite a familiar picture. We would still see people wearing masks and so on and so forth. So when you see a picture like this, what are the few things that comes to your mind? Do you go back to an history like 2.5 years back, COVID times? What are the few things that comes to your mind when you see somebody like this? Okay, there are a few answers. Okay, COVID, of course. So what are when you think about the COVID times, March 2020, okay, March 2020, okay, we had the lockdown announced by the Prime Minister, okay, lockdown announced by the Prime Minister. So what are the few things that you recall from those times? What are the things that you recall from those times? Economic repercussions. 1, 2, 3. What are just tell me top 2, 3 things that you recall from those times. Market crash. Yes, Karanam, correct. Markets had crashed. What else? Market crash, correct. Unemployment. Yes, very good. Unemployment. Okay, anything else? One last point. Discomfort. Thank you, Aminder. Discomfort. So people were worried, right? People were worried about multiple things. We were worried about where we would get our groceries, our milk, our eggs, and the newspaper. Nobody was worried about newspaper. Okay. So we were worried about our food, our medicines, our health. Schools and colleges shut. Okay. Then there were empty roads. Okay. So we were locked up in our homes. Offices were shut. Schools, colleges were shut. Factories were closed. People did not step out of their homes. And it was a period of extreme discomfort. Correct, Aminder? That's what you said. Extreme discomfort, and people were really worried about what's going to happen next. During this time, there was, since people were not coming out of their homes, we were not spending money, right? If we are not coming out of the homes, we are not spending money. Since we are not spending money, there was no reason for us to come out of our homes, and hence there was no reason we would go to a shop. There was no reason why we would spend money. Our monthly expenditures really came down, right? We did not board a bus, we did not board a train, we did not travel, we did not go to our offices, we did not go out to restaurants, movies halls, everything, right? So this was a period that our overall expenditures really plummeted. Drop in consumer spending led to a disastrous economic slowdown. Drop in consumer spending, yes. Digital learning became popular. Yeah, work from home, digital learning became popular, absolutely. Now, can somebody bring in the relation when there is a drop in consumer spending? Why is there an economic slowdown? What is the linkage between these two? Anyone? consumer spending kam hota hai. So why does the economic slowdown is related to that? How is consumer spending related to economic slowdown? Less GDP. Less GDP. So consumer spending, so if the consumers are not spending, that means the shopkeeper, let's take one step at a time. The shopkeeper is not earning, right? The shopkeeper is not earning. The shopkeeper is not earning. If the shopkeeper is not earning, that means he in turn is not placing order for that product with the stockist. The stockist in turn is not placing the order with the vendor. The vendor in turn is not placing the order with the wholesaler. The wholesaler in turn is not picking up products from the distributor. And the distributor in turn is not picking up orders from the factory. So there is a continuous linkage. And if there is no demand for the product, the factory also doesn't produce that product, right? And if the factory is not producing that product, then the factory doesn't earn money. That means the manufacturer doesn't make any money. If the manufacturer is not making money and not producing stuff, that leads to unemployment. And that leads to unemployment all these places. The shopkeeper doesn't need to employ people. The vendor doesn't need to employ people. The stockist doesn't need to employ people. The wholesaler doesn't need to employ people. Each of these people along the chain doesn't need to employ people, right? And all of this, so if there is less people and less demand for products, that results in a straightaway direct linkage between consumer spending and economic slowdown. Now, all of this has had tremendous repercussions in the job market. Tremendous repercussions in the job market. People lost jobs. Salaries were delayed. Bonuses were not paid. Salaries were delayed, or there was a cut in salary. Bonuses out of question. Job loss went up. People lost jobs. There are quite a few professions which completely went out of business. People didn't take them at all. There was tremendous job loss, okay? Now, all of these things is resulting, so consumer spending, on one hand, economic slowdown, and that leads to job loss. And if there is a job loss, that means the consumer spending is again low. People do not have jobs, so you don't have the money. So where do you spend your money from? So the entire thing was just feeding into each other. The consumer spends less, economic slowdown as a repercussion, job loss, and job loss resulted in further drop in consumer spending. There was gloom and doom at all levels. Right? Now, with all of these things were happening, the markets really plummeted. RBI brought moratorium. Yes, correct, Karanam, for 3 months for loans, and then they extended it for 3 months because there was a reason to bring in moratorium because the people who had borrowed the money were not able to repay, right? Not able to repay. So if you're not able to repay as an entire, fraternity, all the borrowers, large sections of the borrowers who had borrowed money were not able to repay, there is no point writing it down and turning the entire banking system into a mess. So RBI said, okay, we are in a tough period. There is no need to repay the money right now. So if there is an EMI facility, there is a moratorium, please, we give you sufficient extra time. And in case there is a delay, the banks need not call it an NPA. Don't call it an NPA right now because we have announced a moratorium. Okay, all of those things were happening. Perfect. All of those things were happening. Now, stock market. So what will happen? So if there is a slowdown, corporate earnings dropped. So if people were not making money, manufacturers were not making money. So obviously the corporates also made less money. And if the corporates made less money, the stock markets depend on corporate earnings, right? The stock prices go up because of the earnings are great. If the stock market if the corporates are not doing well, the stock market crashed. This is the graph. The market crashed by almost 40% in a matter of 3 weeks or so. 40%. Do you remember any other time from history where the markets crashed by 40% in such a short period? Do you remember any period? Any period from the past? No. Okay. Anyone else? Anyone does remember? Markets crashed by 40%. 2008, correct, Aminder? In 2008, markets crashed by approximately 44% in 2008. But that crash was not just in in 3 months, on 3 weeks. It took some time. It approximately 12 months, 9 to 12, 15 months. Over a period of time, it kept moving lower and lower and lower and lower. 2020 March, the kind of event where it crashed by 40% in a matter of 3 weeks was never witnessed in the past. Everybody, so people lost jobs. There was a delay in salary, there was a cut in salary, there was, bonuses were not announced, and then there was loss on their investment book. Loss on investment book. Okay, loss on investment book. So there was this gloom and doom everywhere. Gloom and doom everywhere. In this situation, let me just quickly, sorry, give me 1 sec. Let me just quickly welcome all the newcomers who have joined. Rushikesh, welcome. Sundaraj, Martin, welcome. Welcome, both of you. So we have just begun. So please ask questions. Okay, I didn't announce it before. You are free to raise your hand and I will unmute you and you can ask questions directly to me. Okay, so feel free to raise your hand and I will unmute you from here and you can ask questions directly to me. Or the way you're conducting now is that you are posting on the chat box. That is absolutely fine. But if you want and ask questions directly, that is absolutely possible. But I think the way you're keeping it, let's keep it as interactive as possible. All right. Okay. Now, when all of these things were happening, these two people were sufficiently worried. They were sufficiently worried and they wanted to take some action. When everybody is worried, these two people, number one and number two, the finance minister and the RBI governor were sufficiently worried that if things continue in this manner, then economic activity will not pick up on its own. There has to be some steps taken externally. Left to the system will not repair itself on its own because people are not spending. How do you get people to spend money? So there was a problem at both ends. There was a problem of demand, and then there was automatically, since there was a problem of demand, hence there was a problem of supply as well. So both these things had to be addressed. Do you remember what were the few action points that were taken by RBI governor and the finance minister at that point? We will discuss, but before that, anybody in the chat box or you want to speak up, whatever you're comfortable. What did they do? Anyone? They took some few simple steps, but what were those steps? Pumping liquidity in the system. Pumping liquidity in the system, says Karna. Thank you. Yes, so they did pump liquidity. What else did they do? What else did they do? What else did they do? Okay, let's see. Let's see what they did. Getting loans cheap. Yes, correct, Aminder. I like the way you coin your words. Yes, they made the loans cheap. Correct. So economic package. Yes. So there were quite a few things that both the government and Reserve Bank did. Reserve Bank of India did two things. They brought interest rates lower. They brought interest rates lower. Okay. And they pumped additional liquidity. Okay. Liquidity into the system. Okay. These are the two things that they did. They brought down interest rates and they pumped additional liquidity into the system. We will see what were the repercussions of these two things in a different manner in some time. But these are the two things that they did. What did the government do? Government tried to rationalize some taxes here and there. They tried to bring down some GST rates here and there, but they were losing money. So they could not do much around it. But what they did was that they came up with economic revival packages of 1 trillion rupees of spending on infrastructure, blah, blah. So they rationalized some tax rates here and there. But what they primarily did was that they started to increase the expenditure. So in case they increase expenditure, that means money would flow into the people. So suppose they are looking to construct 100 more kilometers of roads. Obviously, money would move into the hands of the contractors, the vendors, the raw material suppliers, and somehow the flow of money starts to kick in. So the attempt was that if the general people are not spending money, the government should step in and start to spend money. Okay. And what RBI was attempting to do is that when you are spending money, and then there is, if at all, while there is no economic activity now, if at all there is some revival of economic activity, then there should not be dearth of liquidity available. So people should have money. People should have money available. Banks should have money available with them for lending in case there is a demand for money, and that money should be available at a cheaper cost. So these are the few things that they were doing. Now, look at this picture. When these things were happening, do you think everybody was happy? Or do you think some section of people were unhappy? What do you think? Everybody was happy or some section of people were unhappy? I'll wait for your answer. This person in the picture is certainly not happy. Who do you think was not happy? Who do you think was not happy? Hi, Sanjay Vyas, welcome. Hi. Who do you think was not happy? Everybody was happy, or some section of people, as interest rates came down, was not happy? Because if you think about the people, whether government spends more money, will it reach me? Answer is no. It will take a long time for it to reach the general people, the retail people, right? It's going to take a hell lot of time. It's going to first come to the contractor, then it will go to the vendor will hire more people, the money will come, blah, blah, blah. It's going to take a long time. Nobody knows how long it will take, but definitely it's going to take a long time. If I have to think about myself, yourself, and so on, as interest rates were coming down, there was this section of people who were definitely not happy. Karnam says fixed income people. Yes, daily wages, absolutely. Daily wages were anyway not happy because they were losing jobs, their wages were not there. But my question was that as interest rates were coming down, people who live on bank FD, correct? Absolutely. That's the point. People who lived on bank FD interest. So all depositors will become unhappy. All depositors will become unhappy. Senior citizens, primarily people who live on interest from deposits, interest or deposits or fixed income, whatever name you want to call it. So people who live on interest income are the people, some are happy, some are unhappy according to their own benefits on the individual level, says Rishikesh. Yes, absolutely. But primarily the people who live on interest income, they would definitely be unhappy because anyway, you're losing your job, your equity market valuations have come down. If your interest income inflows also start to come down, then that's the last thing that can happen to you, right? So they were definitely unhappy. So if you are unhappy, okay, is there anything that you can do to change your situation? What would you do? If you as a depositor is unhappy, what would you do? You would take some actions, right? You would take some actions. What would you do? Anyone? Move to another asset class. Move to another asset class. Precisely the point. If you are unhappy, you would look for an alternative. Suppose, let's look at this block over here. This is the full pool of bank deposits, okay, in our country, bank deposits. Now, let's look at this part. This section of people were unhappy. What would they do? They would look for an alternative. They would look for an alternative. Now, let's see what could the alternatives be. What's your suggestion? If you're a bank depositor, what is the next best, immediately next best, but similar kind of asset that you can move into? Somebody writes equity, gold, and real estate. Do people jump from fixed deposits to equity and gold and real estate? Debt funds, okay? Debt funds. People generally move into bonds. People move into debt funds, precisely. So some section of people will shift. It's not that everybody will shift. I like the comment of Rishikesh. Not everybody will be unhappy. Whether you are happy or unhappy will depend upon your situation. Somebody might say, oh, SBI's FD rate of 4% is great for me. I am not unhappy because I love SBI as a bank. But somebody might say, oh, it's too low. I was earning 8%, now I'm come down to 6%. So to each his own. Some section of people will shift, some section of people will not shift. Yes, company deposits. So you can move from bank deposits to company deposits. Okay, perfect. So these kind of movements will happen. Now, when these things are happening, what will happen to the, suppose you are moving into bonds, what will happen to the prices? What will happen to the prices of bonds? Will it go up or will it come down? What will happen? Will it go up or will it come down? Will it go up or will it come down? Obviously, it will go up. Thank you. It will keep on going up. Correct. It will keep on going up. As bond prices keeps going higher, what happens to its yield? If bond prices keeps going higher, what happens to its yield? Kya hoga? Yields will come down. If bond prices keeps going higher, the yields will move lower. It will come down. Suppose now imagine a situation, you were in a bank FD earning 8%, okay? Now that bank FD rate has come down to, let's say, 5%, okay? And because of this, you shift some money into a, maybe a bond or a corporate deposit, which was earning, let's say, 6%, okay? It was earning 6%. Now, if more and more people keep shifting, so let's go back to this. Now, initially, this percentage of people were unhappy, but depending for how long low interest rate regimes, some more people will be unhappy. Not everybody will become unhappy on day one. First day, few people. At the end of 6 months, few more people. At the end of another 6 months, few more people. So depends upon how long low interest rate regimes, the percentage of people who will become unhappy and will be pushed to take an alternative decision will keep increasing. Okay. Now more and more people shift. So but then this yield also keeps lower. Eventually this 6% will come down to 5% or maybe to 4%. Okay. So the shift of money from one asset class to other asset class is clearly visible. Okay. Now, because of this drop in yields, that same depositor will again be unhappy at some point in time and say, what the hell? My debt mutual fund returns, while my past returns are fantastic, but the YTMs are continuously falling. Okay, the YTMs are continuously falling. My bonds yields have turned lower. Bond yields have gone low. Corporate FD rates, corporate FDs have also gone low. So I am not happy anymore. I am not happy in what I have been doing so far anymore. I need to look for an alternative once again. At this stage, there is a chance that they may look at something else. So initially look at it. They were in a bank. Then they shift into bonds. I'm including the word bonds to include everything: corporate bonds, corporate FD, debt mutual funds, everything. And then from bonds, they may shift into others. Okay. And that others could be anything, to each his own. Few people might like equity, few people might move into physical assets, maybe a gold, few people can move into real estate, few people can look into overseas, everything. So depending upon individual's level of dissatisfaction, so cheap money will keep shifting to other asset classes and so on. Precisely. Now, if a lot of people are buying equity, what will happen to a stock price? Will it go up or come down? If everybody is buying, not everybody, sorry, a lot of people are buying equity, what will happen to a stock price? No rocket science. Stock prices will keep going higher. Stock prices will keep going higher. It will keep going higher, correct? Okay. Now, if stock prices keep going higher, what happens to your portfolio? Will it appreciate or will it depreciate? Will it appreciate or will it depreciate? When stock prices keep going higher, will your portfolio appreciate or will it depreciate? What will happen? Kya hoga? Stock prices are continuously going up, whether it will appreciate or depreciate. Yes, it will appreciate. Precisely. Thank you, Rishikesh. Thank you. Now, if the portfolio appreciates, what is the person on the sofa? Is there a, what do we call this? When your portfolio is appreciating, what is this? What is this person? Do you think there is a, it is called a wealth effect. Wealth effect. Positive wealth effect. Positive wealth effect. Positive wealth effect. Yahan par kya tha? Let's look at this graph before. This was a negative wealth effect. All of a sudden, market crashed by 40%. All of a sudden, market crashed by 40%. Then suddenly you lose money. Then you get into a phase of, now, whether we call it a bull market or a sustained bull market or a bubble or anything, that we don't know. But what really we know is that as interest rates keep moving lower, there is a change in the investment decision that is visible amongst people. Okay. And that results in people shifting money from lower yielding assets to higher riskier assets. We cannot say higher yielding asset, but to riskier assets. The reason they move into riskier assets because of their objective to make more money, expecting that higher risk will deliver higher return. It is an expectation. The outcome might be different. Okay. Now they keep shifting money, and that results. Now, if this shift, there is a rally, right? There is a positive wealth effect. In a positive wealth effect, is this person happy or unhappy? You become happy. Aapka portfolio, it was 1 crore. Now at the end of 6 months, it has become now 1.4 crore. You may generate a 40% return. Obviously, there is a sense of happiness. There is a sense of happiness. This, you from a situation where you were unhappy, by tinkering the interest rates, RBI governor was able to change your emotion. RBI governor has able to change your emotion from unhappy to happy. Now, it would be, who are the people who are going to be happy? All those people who have been able to shift their money has not fallen into the traps thinking that SBI 4% is great. People who have shifted the money will move into this positive wealth effect and will be happy. And when you are happy, eventually you go out, and when you are happy, what do you do? What do you do when you're happy? You spend money. When it's your birthday, you're happy, you spend money, you have parties, you go out for vacations, you spend money. When you are happy, that is the time you spend money. You don't spend money when you're unhappy. You spend money when you're happy. Correct? So what was actually a situation few weeks back where people were not spending, there was a drop in consumer spending here. There was a drop in consumer spending here. By changing the interest rates dynamics, RBI governor single-handedly was able to change the entire complexion about investor behavior. and consumer behavior. So first they changed the investor behavior, and that outcome of the investor behavior was that positive wealth effect, and that positive wealth effect led to happiness, and that happiness led to consumer spending. Moment there is consumer spending, economic revival turns back. Factories once again start, your transportation sector kicks back, people start traveling, roads start getting constructed. So do you know what we did in this last 20 minutes or so? What is the theory that we learned today? Anyone? Anyone? Let me see any new joinees in the last few minutes. And everybody's requested to change your official, I think, company's name into your name, so we know the person who has joined. So there is a person who has joined from Walt Worth IMF. So I would request you to change your name to your actual name, rename yourself. Okay. Can somebody tell me what did we learn? What is the theory we learned in this last 20 minutes? Anyone? What did we learn? We learned the classic monetary theory of Keynes. Keynes is a world famous economic guru. So we just learned the classic monetary theory of Keynes, like how interest rates and money supply change the entire dynamics of investor behavior and finally consumer spending. Great. How did you like it, guys? People spending boosts economy. Yeah, absolutely. How was it? Give me 1 sec. Give me just 1 sec. Okay, perfect. So okay, perfect. Sorry, I had lost few connections in. Okay, so you said it simplified, very interesting, blah, blah, very good. Super, thank you, knowledgeable, Sundaraj. Great, super, thank you. Now, what I'm going to do is the next 15 minutes or so, I'm going to take you through the program, okay? So this was a sneak peek about how programs are delivered at NSE Academy and OAVA's platform, okay? So right now, we are going to discuss this program called Advanced Program in Finance and Wealth Management, okay? Now, let me just share a few polling questions so that very quickly I know the kind of people who are there. So let me launch one quick question. So polling, I'll just give you maybe a few seconds to record your responses. What's your existing educational qualification? Are you a BCom, MCom, economics graduate, CA, BSc, BA, engineer, or others? Very quickly. Last 10 seconds. Please use the poll to give your responses, not in the chat box, please. Okay. Super. What are you presently doing? What's your present occupation? Are you a student? Are you into service, self-employed? Are you from the BFSI sector? Are you a financial advisor, existing financial advisor, or are you somebody else? Super. Great. Thank you. And one more question. What's your aspiration? You want to be a financial advisor? You want to set up your own advisory firm? You are looking for an upskilling or want to enter the BFSI industry or restart my career? What are you trying to do? What's your aspiration? Want to be a financial advisor? Super. You want to set up your advisory firms? Great. Upskilling. Restart my career. BFSI is banking and financial services industry, which includes your banks, mutual funds, insurance, wealth management firms. If the entire financial sector is called BFSI. You want to enter the BFSI industry, want to set up your own advisory firm, want to be a financial advisor yourself, or just upskilling? Upskilling is absolutely important. To stay relevant in today's times, upskilling is absolutely important. Or restart my career. Super. Great. Okay, so let me just pull up the presentation. Okay, now, so this is a program which is run by NAC Academy, WAWA, and Deakin University, Australia, called the Advanced Program in Finance and Wealth Management. This program is a 3-month duration program. We are going to start this program, maybe we are targeting to begin it like the 3rd, 4th week of December, or maybe early first half of Jan. So sometime in the next three weeks or so, the program is going to commence. Okay, it's a 3-month duration program. So if it starts in Jan, it would get over end of March or first week of April. Okay, now what is this program all about? So this NSC Academy and OAWA's live online. So this is a live online program. Okay, over here there would be real academicians, faculty members like myself who would come and talk to you and present the sessions. You get an opportunity to interact with industry professionals directly. And what does this program equip you to do? It equips you to risk profile your clients, plan and build portfolios, and with the necessary knowledge and skill set for a successful career as a financial advisor. So if you're looking to upskill yourself and get into this space, which is a very promising career in itself, then this is the program for you. So these are the two giants, NSC and OAWA, will deliver the fundamental and the technical knowledge. The soft skill training will be where you would learn all the communication skills, professional, persuasive, and interpersonal communication skills that will be certified by Deakin Co. Deakin Co is the executive education arm of Deakin University, Australia. Deakin University, Australia is amongst the top 1% universities in Australia. How is the learning methodology? So it is a unique combination of live classes and few self-paced programs as well. So the first month, there are 7 modules and everything is a live class. So you would be directly interacting with faculties. And who are these faculties? So we will look into those slides later. So the kind of people who would come and talk to you. So there would be 7 modules in the first month, 7 modules in the second month, and 7 modules in the third month. Out of the 7 modules in the second month, there are 6 live modules and 1 self-paced module. Out of the 7 modules in the third month, there are 5 live modules and 2 self-paced modules. Approximately, it's about 50-60 hours of learning, all right, over this 3-month program. Graduates, postgraduates, chartered accountants, professionals looking for a career shift, all of these people, the people who are in this group today, are absolutely eligible to pick up this program. But please do speak to our student counselors to check for your suitability for this program. Okay, that's very important. This program is also ideal for people who are looking to restart their career and enter the financial industry, existing financial advisors and insurance agents and so on. Okay, this is an absolutely classic program. What are the learning objectives? So there are broadly 7-8 learning objectives. Okay, the first one, you would learn the very simple way about the benefits of savings and investments. So we looked at this sneak peek is that we learned a very complicated theory, the Keynes theory of monetary cycle, in the simplified way in the sneak peek today. In the same manner, all the classrooms are of similar style. The learning objective is that we will demystify key macroeconomic variables. Generally, when we talk about economics, we use big terms, GDP, liquidity, inflation. We would break it down to simple terms that it will get ingrained in you in such a manner that you would be able to use these terms quite eloquently later on in your profession. You would learn the ability how to value instruments. You need not later go and check with anybody whether these markets are expensive or cheap. You will have an individual ability to value assets around you, whether it's a bond or an equity, to figure out whether the markets are expensive or cheap. Create your own investment portfolios and assess risk. Build and prepare financial plans and estate planning. Intergenerational succession planning is a very important subject in today's terms. How do you prepare financial plans and estate planning? How to acquire and manage a client portfolio? How do you build your business? Ways to analyze various assets and use of investment tools. And finally, effective workplace communication. So when you're out in front of a client in a market or in front of a fund manager and whoever, ability to communicate your mind is important, correct? So how you do that in a manner, whether it's a one-on-one conversation or one-to-many conversations, you're sitting in front of a group of people. How do you effectively communicate your mind is crucial, and this is part of the program. In the first month, those 7 modules, it will be introduction to savings and investments, the use of interest rates, okay? The power of interest rates is what you learn, how macros impact markets, where you learn both the asset classes, equity and debt in the very first month itself, asset allocation, the practical nuances, and mutual funds is what you study. And then how do you build your investment portfolio with the use of mutual funds? There are thousands of mutual funds out there. How do you select those mutual funds? If you have selected one, which one to hold on to and which one to drop? What is the quickest way and the easiest way to predict the accuracy and the correctness of the mutual funds that you have selected? In the second month, you will learn how to value a bond, the very practical way, and how to value an equity share using both the bottom-up and the top-down methodology in the most simplest manner. Then there is a very extensive module on diversification and portfolio risk. Still, now you have been reading about returns. Now you will learn about risk. One moment you're buying an asset, you're also taking on risk. Whether those risks are appropriate and whether those risks will be able to deliver returns is something that you will learn in this module. And then learn the strategies to minimize risk. Then it goes on to gold and real estate. Whether gold and real estate should be part of an investor's portfolio, that pragmatic decision you will have an ability to take on your own after this. Then use of insurance and wealth protection. How do you use insurance to protect your wealth? And then in this second month, you learn, in the first month, you learned how to use mutual funds to build portfolios. In the second month, you would learn how to build a comprehensive portfolio, where you would use a mutual fund, you would use direct equity, direct bonds, real estate, gold, overseas investments, all of that. In the third month, it moves into financial planning, okay, where risk profiling, model portfolio, and so on. Then intergenerational wealth management comes under estate planning. This is a fantastic module. This is my personal favorite, where you're only using use cases to learn about succession planning. In the field of succession planning, there are innumerable variations that can happen. The person has been married, divorced, there is a child, then the child is with the mother, and how do you manage that wealth in a proper manner is something that you will learn in this succession planning. Then it goes down to how to acquire and manage a client, okay? How to acquire and manage a client. Then the soft skill part, effective workplace communication, and then how do you ace a job interview? Don't just go by this module name. It is about how do you have proper meetings. Interviews is a meeting as well. So meeting an employer, potential employer, okay? Meeting a potential client. How do you meet? How do you talk? What are the icebreakers? Then the career options. How do you build yourself as a financial advisor? as an employee and as an entrepreneur. Over here, you would be speaking to existing successful financial advisors from the community. Okay, there would be people who would come in from existing wealth management firms and they will be talking to you. Then how do you handle client meetings? Okay, so this is broadly the entire, sorry. I think for some reason the files stopped. Briefly, give me a sec. Yes, sorry about that. Okay, so there are people who have already taken this program. So there, this lady who was actually a housewife earlier, and she has taken this program and has become a very successful financial advisor herself. There are chartered accountants who have taken this program. There are existing mutual fund sales people who have taken this program. So there are a variety of people who have taken this program and are quite happy about this. People who are looking to take this program and wants to enter the job market, okay, wants to enter the job market, there is a very strong placement assistance that we provide. So every successful student of ours, every successful learning at the end of the 3-month program will be eligible for a placement assistance, okay, if you are looking to enter the job market. And what we pride us is that we simplify financial jargon. So on this platform of NSE and OAVA, the learning is absolutely the simplest way. Okay. Now, who are so I was talking about the faculty members. Who are the faculties? They are absolutely acclaimed academicians in their field. So either they are professors with top-notch business schools, NMIMS, SPJN, SIES, MDI, IFT, or they are specialists in their field. So they are PhDs. Most of our professors are PhDs, or they are visiting faculties from the industry. So if you look at this gentleman, Dr. Satish Srivastav, he is a visiting faculty with Boston University, Harvard, and Stanford. And he's also one of the professors who teach behavioral science and economics to our students. These classes are absolutely delight. Apart from this, there are master classes which get organized outside the curriculum, where existing chief investment officers from mutual funds, head of equities, head of debt, they come and visit you, and CEOs, existing wealth management firm employees, they come and talk to you. So we make that connect between education and the industry straightforward. It makes it very easy. Okay, so that is something that we actually enable for all our students. The best part is that after the end of 3 months, you are not on your own. You remain part of the alumni of OAVA and NSE forever. You continue to get access. So there is a very large e-library that you get access to. All kinds of books, education materials, connect with the faculty. In case there is any doubt in the classroom, you get an ability to reconnect with the faculty member once again, set up meetings with them, and then get your doubts cleared. Who are the people? So they are mostly from the academic world or from the industry. So Nilesh Shah, many of you might be aware, he is the president and MD at Kotak Mahindra Asset Management. He is on the advisory of OAVA. Professor B.B. Chakravarti, he was the ex-head of finance from IIM Calcutta and director in charge of IIM Ranchi. He is a PhD in economics from Jadavpur University, Calcutta. He is on the advisory board. He is also an alumni of IIM Calcutta, and he has been instrumental in building this program on this platform. We have Dr. Debashish Sanyal. He is presently the director at Great Lakes Institute of Management, and he was the former vice provost management and dean of the School of Business Management in NMIMS Bombay. And before that, he was the dean at MDI Gurgaon. We have Dr. Kavita Sharma. She was the former president of South Asian University, New Delhi, and she was the professor at Hindu College Delhi and the principal at Hindu College Delhi for almost 37 years. And we have Navneet Munot, a face which is very popular. He is the MD and CEO of HDFC Asset Management Company. So there are 5 people on the advisory body. You see myself, the bottom left, my name is Sujoy Das. So we are the people who have set up OAVA along with this team of advisory members. We are all from the industry. So OAVA is managed and advised by market leaders from HDFC, Kotak Mutual Fund, Invesco, Lehman Brothers, Deutsche, and alumni from IIM Calcutta and Bangalore. Okay. Now, myself is Sujoy Das, Vikram, and Srija. Srija is a financial investor from Switzerland. All of you might obviously are aware about NSE Academy. NSE Academy is a wholly owned subsidiary of National Stock Exchange. This NSE Academy has been created to enable next generation of professionals to build a successful career in the field of finance, investments, and wealth management. The NSE Academy promotes financial literacy as an essential life skill among youngsters, a contribution towards financial inclusion and well-being. Deakin University, or the Deakin Co. Deakin Co is the executive education arm or workplace communication specialist of Deakin University, Australia. Deakin University is one of Australia's leading universities and global top 1% university. Okay, so they would do the soft skill training. Apart from Deakin University, there would be soft skill trainers who are existing soft skill trainers of financial advisors from top-notch wealth management firms. So people who have been training people of Julius Baer, JP Morgan, and so on, other people who would be there in your classroom training you on soft skills. Apart from Deakin University, there would be these people also taking your classes. The program is of duration 3 months, okay, beginning somewhere in Jan 2023, which is next month. The classes will be held on Monday and Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. The classes could be either of 1 hour or 1.5 hours, depending upon the module. There could be few homeworks also that can be given by the faculty members. The program fee is of 2 parts. There is a registration fee of 5,000 rupees, and then the program fee of 53,600 rupees. Both these fees includes an 18% GST. All right. So it's 5,000 and then 53,600. So total is 58,600. If somebody is looking for an EMI facility, then 53,600 is possible to be taken as a loan. And then you can break it up over 3 equated monthly installments and pay up. Okay. So NSE and OAVA has joined hands with several non-banking financial entities, and they would be happy to offer you a student loan in case somebody is looking to take a zero cost EMI facility. 53,600 divided by 3 is what you would pay every month. But 5,000 rupees is what you need to pay to book your seat at this point in time. Okay. What is my name? My name is Sujoy Das. I'm one of the co-founders of OAVA. I've been the ex-head of fixed income at Invesco Mutual Fund for 10 years. Prior to that, I was the head of fixed income at Bharti AXA Mutual Fund and with DSP Merrill Lynch Mutual Fund for over 25 years of experience of global fund management across India and 25 nations globally. I've been managing upwards of 35,000 crore of funds at the peak. Great. So I welcome each one of you to join this session. You can call us up on this number 080. What I'm going to do, please note down this number first. You can take a screenshot 080-468-00970, or you can send a WhatsApp on 80977539959. Kindly take a screenshot. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to share the registration link. Give me a sec. Yes. So the registration link is there on the chat box. All of you are requested to click on this link, fill in your details, pay up that 5,000 rupees and block your seat, because this program has got very limited number of seats, and bookings are already happening, admissions are coming through. We would prefer people who are enthusiastic about finance, wants to learn more about it, looking for an upskill, looking to enter the job market in the BFSI sector, or somebody who is already a financial advisor was looking for an upskill. Okay. So I would strongly urge that you click on this link, pay your 5,000 rupees, register yourself before it's too late. This is something that you need to think through, and the quicker you take your decision, the better. Now, I'll share the telephone details again. Give me a sec. Yes, these are the telephone details: 080-468-00970. You can take a screenshot. Let me ask you a question. How many of you want to finish the course before April 23? So April is a great time to finish the program, because if you're looking to enter the industry, most of the hires happened in that quarter, April, May, June. So it's a great time. So this is a great time to finish the program. I would rather finish the program in March, April, rather than in December. Super. Now, one last question is, just a sec. Just for our understanding, I want to pay through upfront or EMI. You want to use upfront or EMI? Whatever it is, I would strongly. OAWA stands for Online Academy for Wealth Advisors. Online Academy for Wealth Advisors. How many of you are looking to pay upfront, and how many of you are looking to take it up through EMI? Of course. So there will be certificates. Sanjay has a question, like, will there be any certification issued? Of course, there will be certification. There would be, let me just take you through. Let me just end this and take you to that page. Give me a sec. So if you were looking at my modules, so there are quite a few things. You would get a joint certification from NSE Academy and OAWA. Okay, so the certificate, there would be NSE Academy and OAWA, there would be a joint certification. Okay. In addition to that, there would be few, programs that we have built in where you would also earn a digital badge. Okay. In addition to the certificate, you will earn something called a digital badge. Like for this program, diversification and portfolio risk, you would earn a digital badge. Okay. Now, yes, digital badge is for this. Financial planning, and for this program, effective communication in the workplace, which is certified by Dick & Co, is again a certificate. Okay. So there would be two certificates, one by Dick & Co and one by NSE Academy and OAWA. Apart from that, there will be a digital badge which will come in from NSE Knowledge Hub. Okay. So you would get two certificates and one digital badge. All right. Two certificates and a digital badge. The digital badge in today's times, you can use it, to reach out to your prospective employees and so on, because you can share it on all of these. You can share on LinkedIn and everything. But the digital badge, the moment you finish the program, you don't have to wait till the end of the program. The best part of digital badge is the moment you finish this particular module. Diversification portfolio risk, you would get the digital badge instantly in your schedule. So there is a login ID password. You will be in a virtual environment, a classroom virtual environment. You will see under your name the digital badge will pop up, and that you can immediately share on LinkedIn saying that, oh, I've been digital badge, received this, earned this digital badge from NSA Knowledge Hub, so that you can do. The rest of the certificates will come only at the end of the program. All right. Absolutely. NSE Academy certified. Absolutely. You can do that. Yes, Sanjay. Absolutely. You can write NSE Academy certified. Yes. NSE Academy and OAWA. So it's a joint certification. Any questions from anyone? Any other questions? But the best part of the program is the connect with the industry, and the access to those kind of academicians, That's like treasure. And you get to talk to them, you get your doubts cleared, you remain part of the alumni network. The power of alumni is tremendous, because after your batch, there would be a batch every 3 months and so on, right? 6 months, I don't know when. So lots of new different students will come in, industry professionals will come in. Your network will keep increasing. It will become very rich at the end of it. There is no need to renew your certificate. This certificate is forever. You don't need to come back to us to renew the certificate. This certificate is forever. There was a question that, do I need to renew the certificate? No, this certificate is forever. Please make a note that the start is somewhere in the month of Jan. Okay. And you need to book your registration. So I would urge that if you could book your seat, you can take your decision whether you want to pay upfront or EMI. You are generally given 6 days to decide on that, but book your seat today. That is crucial. Book your seat today so that you are assured about being part of the Jan 2023 batch. That is important. After you book your seat, you can take 6 days to decide like whether you want to pay upfront or EMI, and there is some paperwork to be finished for the bank loan facility. So you can take your time to finish that, but important is that book your seat. You should not be disheartened. Yes. Will there be study material? Yes, the entire study material will be provided by the platform. NSE and OAWA will provide the entire, you don't need to buy any books. The books will be in the form of literature, presentations, videos, case studies, playbooks. There are a variety of other things. How is your program different from CFP, CFA? Because these are live classes. The rest of the programs are self-study. You get to interact. There's a live classroom. It is not that you buy a study material, read it, and write an exam. The biggest and the most strongest difference is that this is a live class. The strength and the power of live classes are of a different level. The way you're asking me questions is what you would do in here. And over here, you would also interact with other existing fund managers, right? Existing CIOs. Those things are not part of any other program. So there is no comparison. To be frank, there is no other program of this level in India. Otherwise, NSE would have tied up with that, right? Because they are the largest stock exchange. What other courses with OAWA? So there is one more program, which is a 6-month program, which we would be launching in the month of April. It's a 6-month program. That 6-month program is targeted to somebody who does not have a financial background, but want to get. So it is time commitment, and it's a different price point as well. It's a 6-month program. There are 2 other programs, which is a 1 month and 2 month, that is targeted at school children and college students. That is not a professional program. The professional program is a 3-month program and a 6-month program. The 3-month program is beginning in the month of Jan. The 6-month program will begin in the month of April. That's at a different price point, but it is targeted at somebody who does not have a financial background, the 6-month program. In terms of the collaborations, it is the same. It is NSE Academy, UAVA, and Deakin University for both the 3-month and the 6-month program. Don't worry about study material. The entire study material is part of the course fees. It's part of the course fees. You visit your, so before every start of a class, 2 days prior, the entire course material will be uploaded onto the LMS. We call it LMS, Learning Management System. So once you are registered, you will receive your login ID password before the commencement of the class. Once you log in with your user ID and password, you will get access to your program, and you would see the programs is broken up into your months and modules. And inside the modules, the entire course material for that particular module will be there. It could be in the form of literature, it could be in the form of books, it could be in the form of videos, case studies, and all the classes. Suppose, for example, you miss any class, all the classes are recorded and then uploaded onto the LMS within the next day. So you can always come back and revisit and check the program that you have missed out, or the particular class that you have missed out anytime forever, and it is there forever. It is available to everybody, even if somebody has attended a class or has been absent in a class. It is available to everybody. In case you have a doubt which has not been cleared in the class, then you can always set up a doubt clearing session. You can drop an email, send a message, or you can set up a one-on-one doubt clearing session with your faculty as well. These things are not there in a CFP and a CFA and a CWA program. There is no comparison. Karna. Super. Please be in touch with the student counselor. I don't know which student counselors you have spoken to of NSE. Speak with them, and I would strongly urge, finish your registration process today. Finish your registration process today. Block your seat. Take 6 days to decide whether you're going to pay upfront or EMI, and then then that would be less of stress. Okay. Otherwise, the seat, if it is gone, we do not take unlimited people. There won't be like 50, 60 people. There would be a limited 20, 25 people in the classroom only. And that networking would be tremendous. That networking would be tremendous. Great. Any further questions? Last 1 minute. Super. If there are no further questions, officially, I will conclude the demo session